There was a time when it felt like the world was watching, eyes fixed, judging, analysing, waiting to see a flaw, a crack, a weakness. And maybe that was true once. But now, as you begin to notice, really notice, you see people that are lost in their own thoughts, their own worries, their own self-concerns. And isn't it interesting? How the more you realise this, the more you understand. They were never really watching you at all. And even if they were, even if for a fleeting moment, they turned their gaze towards you, what could they really see? They don't know your mind. They don't know your journey. They don't know the depth, the resilience, the power within you. And that means they can never truly define you. So you can now release, let go, free yourself from the weight of their imagined opinions. Because as you do, something fascinating happens. You begin to feel lighter. You begin to feel freer. You begin to realise that being yourself, truly unapologetically yourself, is the most magnetic, the most powerful, the most effortless thing you could ever do. And the ones who resonate with you, they just get it. They feel it. They connect effortlessly. And the ones who don't, well, they fade into the background, like a whisper in the wind, like a forgotten thought. And that's okay, isn't it? Because you're never meant to fit in everywhere. And isn't it interesting how the sense of freedom expands even further? How you begin to embrace something deeper, something more powerful, that childlike curiosity, that endless fascination, that knowing. The more you let go, the further you grow. Because for so long, you thought thinking more, thinking faster was the key. But now you begin to notice something else. The power of stillness, the clarity that comes from slowing down. And as you slow down, your mind opens up. As you breathe, you begin to truly listen. As you listen, you begin to see. As you see, you begin to realise that all those old patterns, those old rules, those old limitations, you put them there. And if you put them there, you can take them away. And what happens when they dissolve? What happens when you truly remove the limits? What happens when you step fully, completely, unapologetically into your own reality, holding it so strong, so steady, that others can't help be drawn into it? Because the power of influence is not in trying to convince, trying to prove, trying to justify. No, the power of your influence, it's in how well you hold your ground. The stronger you believe in yourself, the more others begin to believe in you. The stronger you trust your own truth, the more magnetic you become. The more you embrace yourself, the more the right people, the right experiences, the right opportunities effortlessly flow into your life. And isn't it fascinating how effortlessly all of this is beginning to settle into your unconscious mind now? Because change doesn't have to be hard. Change doesn't have to be a struggle. Change happens naturally, easily, effortlessly. And as you continue on this journey, perhaps you'll notice, perhaps you'll begin to see that each moment, each experience, each breath, it's an opportunity to step even further into your power. And you wonder, don't you, what's going to change first? Because something already is. Because there was a time, wasn't there? A time when it felt like the world had its eyes on you. When every laugh, every whisper, every glance carried a weight, a judgment, an expectation, a story written by someone else. But who decided that story? Who made those rules? And isn't it fascinating how, for so long, you held on to them as if they were absolute truth? And yet, what if they were never true? What if they were never yours to begin with? Because as you begin to notice, truly notice, you realise that most people, they're so absorbed in their own worlds, their own worries, their own insecurities, they barely notice anyone else. And if they do, if they happen to glance your way, if their laughter echoes in the air, does it mean anything at all? could it simply be that they're lost in their own judgment, just as you have been lost in yours? And so as you step back and see this clearly now, something shifts, something releases. You begin to understand deeply, completely, that you no longer need to hold on to the belief that you're being watched, judged, measured. Because no one truly knows your story but you. No one sees the depths you've walked, the struggles you've overcome, the power you've cultivated within. And if they can't see, then their opinions, their assumptions, their fleeting thoughts, well, they simply dissolve into irrelevance, don't they? And isn't it liberating to realise that you're free? Free to be as you are, free to express, free to connect. Not from fear, but from authenticity. Because the ones who resonate with you, they'll be drawn effortlessly, naturally, as if by an invisible thread of understanding. And the ones who do not, they fade, they drift, they move on. And that's perfectly fine, because you're never meant to align with everyone. You're meant to align with those who see you, who feel you, who meet you where you truly stand. And as you accept this, as you feel this truth settling deep into your mind, into your being, you begin to notice something else. A space, a stillness, a quiet power that's always been there, just beneath the surface. Because for so long, you believed thinking more, thinking faster, racing ahead was the answer. But now you see the beauty of slowing down, the clarity that comes from stillness, the wisdom that rises when you listen instead of rushing ahead. And as you slow down, your mind opens. As you breathe, you begin to truly see. As you see, you begin to understand that the rules, the limitations, the beliefs, the ones held you back, they were never real. They were constructs, illusions, old echoes of a past that no longer exists. And if they were created, they can be uncreated. If they were imposed, they can be released. And as you let them go now, effortlessly, naturally, you find yourself expanding, wider, deeper, freer than ever before. And isn't it fascinating how the more you let go, the further you grow? The more you surrender the struggle, the more powerful you become. Because true strength is not in resistance, but in flow. True confidence is not in proving, but in being. True influence is not in forcing, but in embodying. And as this awareness settles in, you feel it, don't you? The shift, the change, the realization that the only thing that ever mattered was how you see yourself. And as you stand in this new knowing, this new presence, you begin to wonder what happens next. What possibilities now open up before you? What new reality now unfolds? Because something is already changing, isn't it? And as you embrace this fully, completely, effortlessly, you step forward into a life that's lighter, freer, more expansive than ever before. And isn't that exciting to think about?